Welcome. Thank you for joining me. So as we welcome all of us to our practice this morning, let's make sure that we have all that we need to help us through our practice. So if you have blocks, low footstool, a low chair, or you're close to a wall, that's great, because if you need support to steady and balance as we reach for the earth, remember, we bring the earth to us. If you need a blanket for your knees to pad, make sure you have a blanket available and a block to sit on to help raise your seat. A cushion or a folded blanket will do the job just as well. Make sure I've got my blanket nearby too. So as we welcome everyone, let's come into our comfortable Sukhasana. So setting onto your mat. Grounding down through your sit bones. Lengthening through your spine. Roll your shoulders up towards your ears and then slide them down and away. And bring your palms face up on your knees. Let's bring our thumb and little finger to touch in Varuna Mudra, the seal connected to the element of water. All the qualities and aspects associated with that element we are cultivating in our Swadhisthana Chakra practice today. Let's come into our stillness. Perhaps you close your eyes, or you take a downward gaze, an inward looking, soft focus. Beginning to withdraw our senses from the external world and coming into our inner world. Let's take this opportunity to observe the rhythm of our breath. As we follow our breath, we begin to still the thoughts. Our mind finds it difficult to do two things at once. So as we focus on our breath, it is less easily distracted. It can still be distracted, but we can bring the mind back to the breath. The breath helps to calm, to steady, to connect. Begin to trace the journey of your breath. Follow it from your nose all the way down into your belly. Allow your belly to expand, ribs to open, chest to rise. A full breath in. As you breathe out, draw your navel back towards the spine and then follow the journey of the breath as your ribs curl, chest falls, breath out. Inhaling, fully expanding, opening, ready to receive. Exhaling completely, drawing the navel to the spine. Allowing the ribs to curl, chest to fall. One more full Dirgha pranayam. And then let's return our breath to our natural pace and natural rhythm. Bringing your hands together at your heart center in Namaskar. Opening our practice by chanting Om, the primordial vibration of the universe, to bring us together in harmony and unity. Inhale fully. Exhale through open mouth to wash out the breath. Inhale to prepare. Om. 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 Hands to your eyebrow center. Namaste. And welcome. So welcome everyone to our practice today. We are continuing to cultivate and work with our second chakra, the sacral chakra, just below our navel and parallel to where our pelvic area is. This is the second chakra, the sacral chakra, is connected with creativity, creation, fertility, fertility of ideas, fertility of inspiration, richness, abundance. We'll be working our way through all the 7 chakras over the next few weeks. I wanted to share with you today, because I thought it might be helpful, to show you a visual representation of the chakras. So we worked with the Muladhara chakra here at the root. Then we're rising up to work with our Swadhisthana Chakra at the sacral area. And then we'll work through the Manipur Chakra at the solar plexus, the Anahata Chakra at the heart, Vishuddha Chakra at the throat, Agna Chakra at the eyebrow center, and the crown chakra above our head. So we work, so these chakras as a visual representation, and in our subtle body, they run along the length of our spine. They're known to be energy centers. So the kind of vortexes of energy, and so as we move energy around our body, the practice of yoga is about helping ease the flow of life force, vitality around our body. So nourishing the parts of our body that may be in deficit or in deficiency or imbalanced, or parts of our body energetically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, where there may be a sense of being out of tune, out of balance, out of sync. So we flow with the energy, we move with the energy, we move that energy around our chakras to connect with those different aspects and qualities. The whole purpose of yoga is to attain samadhi, bliss, enlightenment, moksha, liberation. So moksha and samadhi are the ultimate goals here when we move beyond the physical realm. That's at a philosophical level. So in that way, while we're working with our chakras, we are able to bring harmony and unity and balance to us, so that we then may have a more positive influence and a more positive interaction with the physical world around us. So we start with the self, but the self does not end with the self. The self is about becoming part of the whole, the bigger realm beyond us. Let's place our fingertips on the earth just for a moment to ground and connect with the earth. So just connect with the root chakra for a moment. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, allow the breath to travel down the length of your spine. As you inhale, visualize the breath traveling from the earth through the length of your spine all the way to your crown. So let's breathe the breath up and down our spine, all our 7 chakras. Inhaling from the crown all the way down to the root. Exhaling from the root all the way to the crown, and you can go the other way. Inhaling from the root to rise up. Exhaling to ground down. So use your breath to travel the length of your spine. One full breath up and down your spine. And then let's place our right palm on the earth and inhale to reach up with our left fingertips to the sky. Exhale over towards the right. Let's take a moment here. You can have your little finger and thumb touching Varuna Mudra here. Swadhisthana Chakra is connected to the moon. We had a full moon last night. It's also connected to the element of water. So the moon, Swadhisthana Chakra, and water are all intimately connected. As you exhale now, sweep your arm in front of you, just above the earth, and come round to the other side, followed by your right arm. Let's take a moment here with a lateral stretch over to the right. You can always bring your forearm to the earth. Check how your left sit bone, if it lifts up, then you want to ground down through that right hip bone, right sit bone rather. Let's flow in the other direction. So sweep your arm across the earth in front of you. And now we're going to move. So these large Sufi circles from right to left, from left to right. So we're working with our lower abdomen, our hips in this practice. This is where the seat of the Swadhisthana Chakra is. So now we're making these huge circles. Let's begin to make these circles a little bit smaller. So perhaps you bring your hands to your knees, to your hips. Let's go the other way. These small Sufi circles. So we came in from the large into the small, from the external to the internal. And connect with your sense of creativity. So I feel, I am creative. Our mantra for this chakra is Om Bhuva. That's the Vedic mantra. We're also working with the Bija sounds, the seed mantras. And for this chakra, it's Vam, Vam, Vam. So you can connect with any mantra of your choice. Om Bhuva, Vam, I feel, I create. Yogi's choice. Let's take a moment here. Bring the soles of your feet together. Take hold of your feet or your ankles or your lower shins, wherever you reach today, and then begin to melt your heart down towards the earth. Your eyebrows center, your crown reach towards the earth. Breathe here into your lower abdomen. Visualize a crescent moon lying on its side within an orange circle. Take your hands, if you choose, underneath your arms. So take your forearms and hands underneath your lower legs so that you transition into Karmanasana, tortoise pose. So remember, you might be here and your hands on the earth. You might be here. Does not matter. Wherever you are is far enough for you. One more breath here. Then inhale to lift your gaze, rise up. Extend your legs long in front of you. Reach up with your arms. Again, come into a forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Exhale, hinge forward, reach as far as you can go. And then release your hands down towards the earth. They can rest on your shins, your ankles, or your feet. Allow your heart space to melt down towards your knees. This is on an energetic level. So physically, your heart space might have lots of room here. You might have less room because you come closer to the earth. It matters not. You are where you are. Have some compassion and feeling for yourself. Have your toes lifted towards the sky so that your toes are flexed. Your feet are engaged. One more breath here. And then as you inhale, slide your hands back along your legs. Uncurl your spine to rise. Take a moment. Let's bring our right foot in towards us. So we did this the other day. We're going to transition again to side plank or wild thing variation from here. So hug that leg in towards you. Place your left hand on the earth, right hand on your heart. As you exhale, point through your left toes, and then inhale and lift your hips and pelvis up towards the sky. You come onto the ball of your right foot. This is variation 1. Wild thing. If you want to transition into the side plank, come onto the outer edge of your left foot. Reach up with your right fingertips. And then you can bring the sole of your right foot to rest on your left thigh. Or you can keep the ball of your right foot on the earth. Yogi's choice. One more breath here. Then bring your hand back to your heart space, ball of your foot back to the earth, and lower down with your sit bones. Turn back to center. Let's cross our right foot over our left leg. Really hug that knee. Your left leg can stay extended, or you can bring the heel of your left foot near your right hip. So we're coming to Ardha Matsyendrasana. Let's wrap your left elbow around your right knee. Reach up with your left fingertips. And then exhale and bring your left fingertips to the earth behind you. And gaze over to the right fingertips to the earth behind you, rather. And gaze over to the right. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, twisting deeper here. Ardha Matsyendrasana. One more breath here. From here, we're going to move to the other side, and we're going to go with a little bit of a rotation. We're going to circle our way around. So inhale, turn your head to center, followed by your heart, followed by your hands. Now place your fingertips on the earth. Listen carefully or watch very carefully. You see the space over on the left-hand side. So let's turn our body over to the left, bring our hands to the earth over on the left side. I'll face you so you can see me. Here we are doing this counter twist variation. Now on the left, we have lots of space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my sit bones, come up onto my feet, and I'm going to walk my hands behind where I was, rotate all the way around to the other side of the mat. And as I do that, I'm spiraling on the ball of my foot. And then I come to sit in a twist on the other side. So now I'll have my left leg hugging in and my right leg. So let me show you that one more time. In fact, what I'm going to do, make sure I can see you all. So we were here with our right leg closest to our body. We moved over to the left where the space was. And then we lifted our sit bones and we walked our hands all the way around the back of our mat, spiraling on the balls of our feet as we do that. And then we have this corkscrew effect where our knees come behind each other and then we return to the earth. And now we have our left leg closest to our body and our right heel near our left hip. Play around with it. That's just a little bit of fun. Spiraling from one Ardha Matsyendrasana on one side to the other side. If you need to ungather yourself, stretch out your legs, and then come back in, that's fine. So we want our right leg extended if you're doing the half variation, or our right heel near our left hip. Hug in your left leg. Let's wrap our right elbow around our left knee. Reach up with our left fingertips. Exhale our hand behind us and gaze over to the left. Breathe into your lower abdomen. As you inhale, lengthen here. One more breath. And then let's inhale, turn to center, followed by a heart, spiraling out. Extend your right leg long if it's not already, and uncross your left leg. We're going to do our wild variation, miracle pose on this side, Kamatkarasana. Moving into the Swadhisthana variation with the tree pose legs. Hug your left leg in, the sole of your left foot is on the earth. Place your right hand on the earth behind you. Bring your left hand to your heart. Point through your right toes. Inhale, begin to lift your sit bones. And as you do that, you come onto the ball of your left foot. You can stay here. You can always reach your arm up from here. If you want to move into the side plank variation with the tree, come onto the little toe side of your right foot. Reach up with your left fingertips. And then you can bring, once you find your balance, the sole of your left foot onto your right thigh. One breath here. Or you can keep the ball of your left foot on the earth. Yogi's choice. As you exhale, left hand to your heart, ball of your left foot back to the earth, lower your sit bones, coming back to the earth, right leg extended, left leg on the earth. Let's bring both legs in here. From here, we're going to move into Melasma, frog pose. So let's take your feet out slightly wider. Have your toes turning out. And again, you can either come with your sit bones and leave some space, or you reach for your blocks or your low footstool and create a little seat so that you can sit on a little seat. Or you're crouching here, yogi's choice. We're opening through our hips, so the balancing here is less important than the opening through our hips. And if we can open more through our hips by sitting on a low stool or a low chair, let's do that. Bring your hands to your heart center. Use your elbows on the inside of your knees just to create a little bit more space. Lift your crown, relax your shoulders. One breath here. We're going to do a little flow with our arms here. Open out your right fingertips to the earth and then reach up with your left fingertips and create opening across your heart. I'm very wobbly today because I'm having my moon cycle. My cycle decided to manifest itself at the full moon. My husband calls me a witch because I'm completely synchronized with the cycle of the moon. One breath here. Then let's bring your hands back to center and open to the other side. Flow like this for a few breaths. Maybe you have your little finger and thumb connected. And then when you've had enough of that, what we're going to do is come into a little wrap. So we're going to go onto our right knee first. So take your right arm and wrap it round the front of your shin. And then with your left arm, sweep it behind and reach for your fingers so that your fingers interlace. So I'll turn it around so you can see how that looks. Now, if you can't reach your fingers because your arms just aren't long enough, take hold of your t-shirt. We'll be here just for a moment. And I know if you're hovering, you'll be getting tired. One more breath here. Let's go the other way. So let's wrap our left arm around our left shin and reach behind with our left hand. It might feel very different. And then reach behind with our right hand so that we're opening across our heart. We crouch down low. Our fingers are interlaced like this. This is called Ganesh Mudra. One breath more. Nearly there. Remember, you can hold onto your t-shirt or your leggings. Inhale, release your hands. Wherever you are, begin to straighten through your legs. Take your feet as wide as sort of one leg distance wide, so the length of one leg, coming into Prasarita Padottanasana. Prasarita Padottanasana. Toes pointing forward. Have a soft bend in your knees. Fingertips here can be on the earth or on your low footstool. So if you were sitting on blocks, just bring them forward and place your fingertips or your hands on the earth, whether it's raised. Let's take a moment here. Relax your crown, neck, shoulders here. So just let's hang out for a moment. So you can see here what we're doing is we're working with our abdomen here by folding over. We're creating compression, we're activating and stimulating the Swadhisthana Chakra. I'm going to tie my hair back. Take a moment wherever you are. And we've done this before, so we're going to move into a little flow here. Place your right fingertips on the earth and leaving them where they are. Inhale, draw your left arm across your body to reach up to the sky. Take your gaze with you. Exhale back to the earth. Inhale, right fingertips to the sky. Exhale to the earth. So move, flow, fluidity, like the water flowing in a river or a stream. One more time on each side. Move with your breath. And then both fingertips return to the earth. Let's turn our right toes forward. So our left toes are still at this either 90 degrees. So let's now move them to a 45-degree angle. We're going to move into pyramid pose over on the right leg. So let's walk our hands either side of our right leg. Hands can rest on your leg or on the earth. Take a moment here. You might want to walk your left foot slightly out so that you create a broader pyramid base. Purvattanasana. One breath here. Bring your right fingertips to the inside of your right leg, on the earth or on the inside of your shin. Draw your left arm across your body, reaching up, Trikonasana on this side. One breath here. Bend into your right knee. Inhale, both arms up. Let's just come for a moment into Warrior Two, Mahavira. Not here for long. Straighten through your right leg. We're going to move into Revolve Trikonasana, Revolved Triangle, Parivrtta Trikonasana. So arms are reaching out parallel to your shoulders. As you exhale, begin to take your left fingertips to your right leg. Now your left hand can rest on your shin, on your ankle, or your foot. And your right fingertips go to the sky, or you bring your right hand to your right hip. Revolved triangle, Parivrtta Trikonasana. So you could be with your right hand on your right thigh, right shin, right ankle, right foot. Your right hand can be on your right hip or in the air. One more breath here. As you exhale, turn to the earth and walk your fingertips back to center, Prasarita Padottanasana. Here we go, wide-legged forward fold. Let's walk to the other side. Turn your left toes now, and then walk your fingers or hands either side of your left foot, either resting directly on the earth or on blocks. And again, check whether you need to create a broader pyramid base. So maybe you take your right foot towards the outer edge of your mat. Soften here for a moment. Bring your left fingers to the inside of your left foot onto the earth, or the hand onto the left leg. Draw your right fingertips across your body so that you reach up with your right arm to the sky. Trikonasana. Let's take a moment here. From here, we're going to transition by bending into our left knee, rise up into Mahavirabhadrasana just for a moment, not for too long, most likely. So if you've got a broad base, you might want to create a narrower base, yours choice. We're going to move into Revolve Triangle now. So straighten through your left leg. Now, your right fingertips come down towards your left leg. Your left fingertips either come to your hip or to the sky. So your right hand can be on the outside of your shin, outside of your ankle, coming to your variation of Revolve Triangle. So we're really crossing here at the abdomen, at our Swadhisthana Chakra. This is where our intuition sits, our feelings about ourselves and other people, our instincts, our passions, our emotions. One more breath here. And then turn to the gaze. Let's walk your hands back to the center. Come for a moment here. Now this time let's take our hands to our hips, come into halfway lift so that our heart is parallel to the earth. Oops, slipping and sliding on my floor. And then take your hands behind your back. Either take hold of opposite elbows or interlace your fingers into your yoga mudra. And then let's draw our crown towards the earth. Our hands rise up, or if we're holding our elbows, we pull our elbows in towards each other. Crown, neck, shoulders are relaxed and soft. One full breath here. Then bend into your knees. Rise with your heart. We're going to come into Devyasana. So keep your hands clasped either on your elbows or your palms together. Bend into your knees. Goddess pose. Open your heart. Maybe you lift your gaze. One breath more. And then release your hands. Rise up into Tadasana, star pose. Take a breath here. Let's turn over to our right foot. Bend into our right knees and come down to the earth here. Your left knee comes to the earth or you keep it lifted, yogi's choice. Inhaling, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Keep your fingertips on the earth or your hands on the earth. Exhaling, we're going to straighten through that right leg and reach our left heel towards the earth. So again, this is that pyramid shape, coming with our breath back into low lunge, Ajanyasana, and then exhaling into pyramid. Inhaling, low lunge. Exhaling, pyramid. If you have your knee on the earth, pardon me for not giving you the option, then we're going to come back into just Ardha Matsyendrasana. So if your knee's on the earth, we're going to be moving from low lunge back into this Ardha Matsyendrasana variation. If your knee is off the earth, then low lunge into pyramid. One more time on this side. And then let's revolve and work all the way over to our left foot, turn our left toes, and again coming into low lunge here. Right knee on or off the mat, yogi's choice. So if you have your knee on the earth, here we are in low lunge, and then as you exhale, you take your sit bones back, coming into this Ardha Matsyendrasana, and then forward into low lunge, Ajanyasana. If your knee is off the earth, you're coming into more of a pyramid shape. Use your breath. moving slowly. Twice more. And then let's all walk our hands back to the center. Take a moment here. And then with our hands on the earth, or on our blocks, let's bend over to the right, bending deeply into that right knee. And then over to the left knee, bend deeply into the left knee. As you do that, you can lift the toes of your foot, or you can keep your foot firmly planted on the earth. Yogi's choice. Let's flow from side to side. Sink down low where you have the space in your hips. One more time. And then let's come back to center, removing your blocks. Turn over to your right foot. Hands on the earth, and let's step back long with our right foot, long with our left leg here, coming into plank or half plank. One breath here. From here, we're going to do a little flow with either up dog, Ardha Matsyendrasana, or Bhujangasana. So let me show you Bhujangasana first, cobra variation. So you're going to be from half plank. This is where you're choosing to be. As you exhale, bend into your elbows and come down to the earth in Ashtanga. And then inhale, lower your abdomen and rise up in cobra. Exhale, back into half plank. If you are in full plank with your knees lifted, Phalakasana, you can either come through Ashtanga and Bhujangasana, or you can come through Chaturanga. Bend your elbows, lower to the earth. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, up dog. So let's do this for a few moments. So find which variation you want. So you'll either be doing half plank to cobra, or full plank to up dog, or a mix. So yogi's choice. I'm going to create a little bit of space here. And I'm going to start with plank. Plank, Chaturanga, up dog, and then back to plank. Just twice, each variation twice. You'll have done it twice. You'll have done it once with me and then twice on your own. So you're working hard here. And then wherever you are, whether you're in plank or half plank, bring your knees to the earth. Sit back in child's pose to rest. Take a moment here. Your eyebrow center is on the earth or on a cushion or a block or a blanket. Arms are stretched out in front of you. Inhale, lift your gaze. And then let's walk all our hands over to the left to come into a twist, a side stretch here, lateral stretch over to the left from Melasma. Inhale, walk your hands to center. Exhale, walk your hands over to the right. And then back to center with your in-breath. Take a moment here, lift your gaze. Let's all lower our abdomen to the earth. From here, we're going to come into either cobra or a much higher variation. So let's place your finger pads on the earth. Cup your palms, lift your elbows slightly. So your elbows are in line with your shoulders and your hands just slightly ahead of your shoulders. You can put your hands more forward, depending on how much space you need for your lower back. Inhale, press into your big toes, press into your pubic bone, into your lower abdomen, and inhale to rise with your crown, your eyebrow center, and your heart space. Now, if this feels too intense for your lower back, the further forward you have your hands, the more space you create. The further apart you have your feet, the more space you create. So let's find the position for your hands that feels good for you. And then inhale to rise up. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to lower. Turn your head to the right so that you're resting on your right ear. Take your arms alongside your body, palms face up. Let's take a moment here and take honeybee breath, Brahmari breath. Inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, keep your lips closed, but soft, so very soft parting so that you can make a humming or buzzing sound through your lips. Inhale together, exhale, Brahmari. Take a moment and then let's turn our head the other way. So now you bring your left ear to the mat, soften in your body. Take a breath in through your nose and out through that, making that buzzing sound through your lips. And then back to center. From here, we're going to move into bow pose, Dhanurasana. So variations are going to be that we bend into one leg. So let's start with the right leg. And you can have your hands resting on the earth in front of you, so by your head. Or you can reach back with right hand and take hold of your right ankle. So it depends on how your lower back feels. So let's say we are reaching for our ankle here. And I've got my left hand under my eyebrow center, my right palm, my right hand is on my right ankle. So this is where I might start. And this is where I might stay. Let's release that right ankle for a moment. And then let's connect with the left side of our body. So let's bend into our left knee. Again, we can reach back with our left hand and see how that feels to take hold of our left ankle. Again, we might stay with this variation of a Dhanurasana. We might want to go to a different stage of it. Let's release that left ankle. And now you can either go take one hold of one ankle at a time or bend one knee at a time and then hold for a few moments. Let's say 3 breaths on each side, or you can bend into both knees and reach back with both hands and take hold of your ankles. So you might stay here with your thighs connected with the earth, or you might inhale and lift your crown, lift your eyebrow center, and lift so you're pulling your ankles, but you're also pushing your ankles away into your hands. And then lift into Dhanurasana. Depending on how your back is, this might be very deep or it might be less intense. Yogi's choice. As you all know, we're all in different places. One more breath here. And exhale, low to the earth. Release your ankles with care. You might feel this in your lower back. Let's take a moment here before we move to allow our spine to realign. And then place your hands either side of your shoulders. Lift your gaze, press into the earth, and with care, going to transition back very slowly into a wide-legged child's pose. So take your knees as wide as your mat, big toes to touch, and then sink your sit bones towards your heels. You can bring your hands underneath your eyebrow center, Or take your arms alongside your body, palms face up. And let's take a Brahmari breath here. Inhale through your nose. Let's place your hands on the earth either side of your head. Pressing into the earth, inhale to lift your gaze. We're going to transition into frog pose or Mandukasana. So again, we're going to be on the earth. You might want to pad your knees here. So have your knees either wide as your mat or wider than your mat. Now, it does not matter how close your pelvic area comes to the earth. You can either stay on your hands here. You might want to, and I'm going to reach for my low stool so that I can show you the variations. You might have your hands or forearms resting on a stool to give you more support. So your knees are parallel to your hips. Your feet are sort of turned outwards. You'll feel this on your hip flexors. So remember, you can be quite high up. The earth comes up to you. Make sure you pad your knees, because if your knees come off the mat and onto the floor, it can feel quite hard and uncomfortable for your knees. So you might have your forearms on the earth. You might have your eyebrow center on the earth. Let's take a few breaths here. Breathe into your hips. This is going to feel intense. Whichever option you've taken, it's going to feel intense. It's not what we often do. It's a very unusual sensation for our body. Keep breathing here. Visualize the orange circle with the crescent moon. I feel at ease with my body. I move with grace. I sit with comfort. 3 more breaths here wherever you are. And when we transition out of Mandukasana, we're going to move with care. So if you're on the earth, first come up onto your forearms and then begin to shuffle your knees in slightly. And then maybe come up onto your hands, bring your knees in again a little bit. And then let's come into table just for a moment so that our knees are directly underneath our hips. And then maybe we sway gently from side to side with our hips. Maybe we create circles with our hips one way, then the other. Can move backwards and forwards here. Maybe we do what we call that C shape, so we look back to our left hip and then over to our right hip. And then let's bring our knees together and then sit back in child's pose just for a moment. Make sure you prop your eyebrow center here. So maybe you create little fists and place them on top of each other and then rest your eyebrow center there. And really sense how your hip flexors are feeling here. Take a few breaths here. Not in any rush, we're not going anywhere. One more breath here. And then let's rise up into Virasana, Hero's Pose. So remember, this pose is one that we often use in yin. And if this does not feel comfortable either for the ankles or for the knees, this is where your blankets come into handy. You can place your blanket, folded blanket, underneath your knees. See how that feels. Another option is to roll up your blanket And place it at the back of your knees. That might feel better. Another option is to place your rolled up blanket on the inside of your ankles. You could have multiple blanket situation going on here. So for example, sometimes having a block or a cushion between your heels and your sit bones also helps. Now here we're going to bring our hands into our mudras that we learned the other day. So remember, there are two options depending on the amount of flexibility in your fingers. If you have arthritis, it can be quite difficult and challenging to use through the Swadhisthana Mudra. So we'll have two options. So option one for the Swadhisthana Chakra is to bring your palms to face each other. I might come a little bit closer so you can really see me. So you bring your palms together to facing each other. Let's wrap our middle finger around our index. So we cross our fingers. And then we interlace our ring finger and little finger, and our tips of our index fingers come together. And then on the other side, you'll notice that I fold in my middle fingers and I bring the tips of my thumb to touch. So let's just show you that. So that's how it will look. So this is the Swadhisthana Mudra. You can have this at your heart, you can have it above your crown, or you can rest it in your lap. Your other options, if that requires quite a lot of dexterity with your fingers, the other option is, let's cross our wrists in front of our heart. And then I'm going to go the other way. So I'm going to have my right hand close to my heart. Wrap your little fingers around each other. Then I'm going to bring my index, middle, and thumb to touch. And I'll extend my ring finger. So this will look a bit like a butterfly. See, I don't know if this happens to you, but I can't. If I bend my ring finger, my little finger, it's like my ring and little finger are joined together. So then you have this option. This is Kilaka Mudra. And again, it can be at your heart, above your crown, or in your lap. So choose the variation of the mudra that you find most accessible. You're here in Virasana with your padding, with your cushions, whatever you need. So let me I'm going to come into Swadhisthana. So to Swadhisthana Mudra, wrap your middle around your index, interlace ring, little finger, tips of the index come together, nails of your middle finger come together, thumbs and your middle finger tips touch. In Swadhisthana, rest in your lap, at your heart, above your crown. Kilaka, cross your wrists, wrap little fingers round, bring middle, index and thumb to touch, extend ring, again at your heart, above your crown, or at your lap. I want to invite you to connect with your mantra for your practice. So, as we know, our Swadhisthana Chakra is connected to sense of feeling, sense of intuition, our relationships with others, how intimate those relationships are, how loving, how rich and abundant we may be with love, passion, sensuality in our lives. It's also the place of creativity, of ideas, inspiration, any art projects, new business plans. So connect with whatever your mantra is. Om Bhuva. Om Bhuva. Perhaps it's Vam, Vam, Vam. Let's take a few moments to chant Om Bhuva or Vam, silent to ourselves 3 times. Om Bhuva, Om Bhuva, Om Bhuva, Vam, Vam, Vam. whichever one resonates with you. Your yoga practice is for you alone. Connect with that which helps find balance and harmony for you. You might choose to say, I feel deeply. I connect intuitively with others. I am creative. I create. The element is water, jal or apas. The sense, and each of our chakras have our lower chakras have a sense associated with them. The sense here is taste, rasa. So taste the richness, the sweetness of life, the diversity of flavors, the abundance of all the flavors. Rasa. Let's take a full breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Release your mudra. Let's come to the earth, however you may. And I want you to bring some comfort. So if you feel cool, cover yourself with a blanket. Maybe you want to place a blanket underneath your head. Allow your feet to fall out for a moment, arms away from your body. Let's take a moment here. Connect with the earth. Maybe you place your hands around your lower abdomen and create a mudra here, yoni mudra. So a sort of downward pointing triangle with your hands, your thumbs are touching each other, your index fingers are touching each other. Let's take 3 full breaths here. And if you should feel restful, closing your eyes, resting here in the sweet harmony of your own sweet presence. This practice is a nourishing, hydrating practice. So when we are tired, when we are overwrought by emotion, when we are overwhelmed, we can retreat into a Swadhisthana Chakra practice to nourish and hydrate, to bring abundance and richness back to ourselves. Let's take 3 full breaths here. And when you inhale for the 3rd breath, reach overhead with your arms, stretch out through your legs. And then when you exhale, hug everything in, give yourself a big hug, squeeze in, hugging your knees to your heart space. And then release your arms, reach overhead with one arm and roll over onto your side. Rest there for a moment in sleeping Krishna. And when you're ready, press into your hands to rise up. Come into your comfortable seat, your comfortable Sukhasana. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Let's take a full breath in. Wash it out through open mouth. Closing our practice with Om Shanti. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Inhale to prepare. Om Shanti. 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 Hands together to your eyebrow center. Dhanyavad. I want to remind you all to go onto the YouTube channel. The full moon gong bath has been uploaded. Listen to it tonight, tomorrow night, next few nights before you go to sleep, or if you're feeling very tired in the afternoon, just to have a little bit of an energy boost. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I'll see you tomorrow, Sunday, for those of you who are joining me for Yin. Otherwise, whenever we meet again. Thank you.